What's up gamers, today we are defeating Mangus in Wuchang. I had to whip out the camera for this one because this is not my guide. Yes it is, but completely ripped this strategy off this guy on YouTube and I'm gonna show you how he does the fight before I do it. And then we're gonna go over exactly how he does it because he doesn't really explain it. He shows his build and his stats in the video, but it doesn't explain exactly what he's doing. So that's what I'm gonna do for you and I'm gonna do a version of it. But I want to shout this guy out. He was the one I copied, bruh. So let's look at this. First, we're going to turn on the audio. Full screen. He goes in with full skyborn might. So that's the whole idea of the boss fight. Now that looks messy as crazy messy, but I'm gonna break it down for you so that you can do a version of this. I didn't do it exactly how I did it, but I got her extremely low so that I could cheese her off in the end. Now let's get into the build and the stats. Now for the spec, you are going to want to pick up as many skills as you possibly can. In this tree, I just go over and pick up all the charges on my temper. And then I'm gonna go to the axe tree and just pick up as many skills as I can along the way. And I'm gonna explain why I do that later. Just pick up these skills out in the edges here. Not all of them, I just go that high. But in the spear tree, I pick up all of them. All of these skills. See the full tree right here. And then I also pick in the dual sword tree here, go a bit in there and in this one as well, just to get the skills. And then why I do this, I'm going to show you, but here is for the axe, the benedictions I use. The wisdom one here is actually the wrong one, so you should go for another one. This one is the one you should add, the skyborn force. That's one you want. And here you want all the disciplinary force. If you have all three of these, you can see that we get a fourth bonus as well. So at the end of the video, I'm going to show you where you can pick these up. And if you're not going to watch that, it's going to be bad for my watch time. So you can compensate that by giving me a like and consider subscribing. I use the fire temper and then I also use the only ones I have in the other three slots right here. Steam powered spear and the Empyrean Grey axe. And you can see that I only run the basic disciplinary skills on these two. Do nothing fancy here. For the armor, just run for as much feathering resistance as you possibly can. That's what I did. And then the jade pennants, you are going for damage. These are the ones that he used and that I used as well on my last boss fight, so I just keep these. And for the spells, you want the ethereal form because it gives you skyborn might and you gain invincibility for one attack. Now for the boss fight, you want to have full skyborn might when you go in, so you can use a plume, or you can be greedy like me and just stack up some skyborn might before you go into the boss arena. There are plenty of easy enemies just in front of the boss arena, so you can just stack it up before you go in. Then once you go in, you want to apply your fire temper to both your weapons. So for the spear and then the axe, and then you switch back to the spear before you go in. Now, I usually just like to run up right behind her. And she's gonna spin, but don't worry, just do a heavy attack. Switch over to your axe and do R1. Now here's where I went wrong. I don't know why, but I didn't read it the first time, so I missed this completely. But he clearly says to block with L2 and then 2 light attacks with your right bumper, and then you get 3 feather in order to continuously do this combo. I only do a heavy attack here, and then I go into my swift draw and then heavy attack again. This will work for about 3 times, and then you will run out of skyborn might. And you will see it right here. So I do a heavy attack, and then I spam the swift draw, and then do a heavy attack again. I didn't get it off, so I dodge up behind her and do it again. Just another heavy attack. Switch to my axe, R1, heavy attack. So preferably you should do L2, R1, R1 here, but I did the heavy attack instead. You just do this over and over for as much as you can. But luckily here I get an excuse to show you a bit of the rest of the fight. So yeah, don't do it like me if you want to completely kill her with only that combo. But if she goes up into the air, Try to stack some Skyborn Might before she goes up so that you can't attack her anymore, and then run over to this corner right here. Because here you will be safe from all the explosions, and you can take your time to apply your temper and do some other stuff. If you need to heal, you can heal up, and then you run back to her. Now she's going to put her bubble on herself, and this is why we wanted to stack up some Skyborn Might, because now we can do a heavy, do the swift draw, and just try to get as much damage out as possible on her bubble, because hopefully she's only gonna do it once and then pick another spell the next time she comes down. Because since you cheesed her, she's gonna feel like she needs to do this spell twice. Now you're just going to try to run up to her. Hopefully she does the spear toss, because that's really easy to dodge. And then try to do L1, break her bubble, because you still have some Skyborn Might. When the bubble breaks, try to do dodge up behind her and do R2. You didn't manage to get it off there. All the other spells are pretty easy to time the dodges on if you just not focus on hitting. You just focus on dodging while she does them. And try to get up close to her and do L1 with your Skyborn Might. You can also use your spell like I do right here, so that I get a free dodge and some Skyborn Might. Try to get up to her back and do a heavy attack, and that's the whole goal for the rest of the boss fight, to try to get her back and do a heavy attack. That's the boss fight. If it helped you out, make sure to like and subscribe. And here I will show you where you can get the benedictions that I used in this build. For the first 3, you're gonna want to go to Annalum and go talk to the vendor there. His name is Wuchang, and in his shop you can buy the 6 Disciplinary Force and the Skyborn Force benedictions. Now for the Obliterating Force, you're going to want to go to Cloudspire and then to the Rebel Camp checkpoint. Now from the checkpoint, you're going to want to jump down where the ladder is and then head right. So hold right and then go straight ahead up the little hill right in front of you. And break the cart that is at the top of the hill and just go straight forward until you get to this tower over behind this enemy. Once you climb up the tower, the benediction will be in a chest at the top. Now for the 9 disciplinary, you're going to want to go to the Mount Senwu altar checkpoint. So run out through the burnt door just in front of the altar and then head down the hill for as far down as you can go, and then hold left. Once you get down there, you will see the panda, and the panda sells you the final 9 disciplinary benediction that you need.